rosebuds, and welcome back to the Nava channel. Today's video I have for you a BTS home decor video, and I just want to mention that this type of decor is more on the minimalistic, contemporary side, a little bit more of a mature taste. I really wanted to come out with this type of video because I haven't really come across a home decor BTS video of this sort, I guess you can say. The ones that I have seen are a little bit more on the cutesy side. Although I do love watching them and they're so adorable, I probably wouldn't put them up in my room or in my home. So I wanted to make a video of some DIY decor that is more minimal, a little bit more subtle, and not so much like bam, BTS in your face. That when my guests walk into my apartment, they're not like, oh my god, you're a BTS fan. I want them to be like, oh, that's like some really cool art, and they'll realize after they keep looking at it that it's BTS decor. So if you guys are on the same boat, then this is the type of video for you guys. Oh my gosh, also before I forget and before we jump into this video, I am doing a giveaway. I haven't done a giveaway in I feel like a year, and since it's the season of giving, I'm just so into this holiday spirit type of thing. I am going to give away another BTS jacket. Not gonna be this jacket, but it's gonna be these types of jackets. So it's gonna look like this. If you guys want to learn how to enter into that giveaway, please stay till the very end. Do not skip forward. I mean, you technically can. Just so you guys don't have to keep looking at this blinking light, let's jump into these tutorials. Alright, so for the first tutorial, I want to show you guys how I made these really easy books. It's pretty self-explanatory, but here's the tutorial anyways. So you're obviously gonna need a book, you'll need paint and a brush, and then you'll need some alphabet stickers. I got these ones from Hobby Lobby. These are the books that I picked up from the thrift store, and I made sure to get a variety in size. I also made sure that I picked up books that I would actually open up and read in the future, just to be more considerate to those who actually go to the thrift store and buy books there. So basically the first step is just to paint your book. This book I actually had for such a long time, and as you can see there's a lot of watermarks on it, so I thought that it would be perfect to cover it and give it a new life, you know. This pink paint I got from Home Depot. This is wall paint, and I actually used this to paint my table. I had this lying around and I had extra, so I decided to use it, but I also used regular craft acrylic paint that you guys will see in the other shots. I think for this book and this paint I only needed to do 2 coats. I also noticed that it's best to paint books with soft fabric covers versus those shiny plastic covers, probably because it's a little bit more porous and fibrous and easier for the paint to stick to. Just like this book, it is plastic, and I ended up redoing the whole thing because the paint just ripped off. And if you guys are lucky, you guys might be able to find a nice colored book where you probably only need to paint the letters. For example, I have this X-Files book that I only needed to paint the books fine. I also realized that painting a white book is the worst idea in the whole entire world. I highly suggest, if you're going to use white, to use contact paper instead, and I will show you guys right now how I did that. So the way that I did that was I just cut a piece of contact paper that fits my book and also left about a ½ inch around the whole entire edge. Then from there I carefully peeled the backing and pressed the contact paper onto the book, starting from one end all the way through. Then where the cover and the spine meet, you want to add a little slit, and then for the corners you just cut off a square shaped piece, I guess you could say. Next, just fold in the flaps, and then any extra paper that's on the spine you could just cut it off and you are done. It's so much easier and cleaner than paint, but I understand contact paper is kind of expensive, so. And now this is the fun part. This is my favorite part, obviously. This is where you can go crazy with adding all the stickers that you want. I tried to play around and be creative and use different kinds of book spine designs. I don't know, I just googled a bunch of them. I also found it was easiest to use my X-Acto knife to pull out the stickers and also place them onto the book. And now this is me playing with some vinyl cutouts. Feel free to do whatever you guys want, guys. It's your creative freedom here. And now here are all the books that I made. Personally, I feel like the contact paper ones look way better than the ones that I painted, but it's just because it's a lot cleaner and more sleeker, but I think the painted ones came out really well too. In total, I would say that each book came out to be about $3 to $4 each. Next up we have this minimal BTS sign. The materials that you'll need for this tutorial are 5 balsa wooden sticks, a Sharpie or a marker, black paint and a brush obviously, a hot glue gun, something to cut the sticks with. I have a jigsaw, but I heard that using a handsaw is completely fine, and you'll also need a ruler. So this is the type of wood that I'm using. I think it's pronounced balsa only because it's spelled like salsa. Honestly, I don't really know what the main purpose of this wood is, so someone correct me if I'm completely wrong. The first step that you want to do is cut your wood sticks to these dimensions listed here. Screenshot it, save it, do what you guys gotta do because I am only leaving it up for this clip. Also keep in mind that this is only for one side of the sign and you're gonna have to repeat it for the other side of the sign. With your Sharpie, just mark directly onto the wood and then cut it out with your saw. Unless you guys are completely comfortable and okay with cutting wood, then I would just ask a parent or someone else to do it for you just so you guys don't hurt yourself. The edges will be rough, so make sure you guys sand it down with whatever sandpaper you have lying around. Now just follow this guide to match up the sticks and then glue them together by the corners. Once the glue is dried, you guys can paint it and leave it for about like 20 minutes just so the paint can fully dry. This is totally optional, but I found these pads at the dollar store and I added them to the backs just to add some space between the sign and the wall. I just hooked them up with some clear 3M hooks and that was it. I really only needed to buy the sticks, so in total this cost me about $15. Alright, so the next DIY is actually these BTS pillows, which you could technically do like BTS logo or ARMY logo, totally up to you guys, but unfortunately this specific tutorial is not going to be in this video. It's going to be linked down in the bottom on my blog. The reason why I didn't include it in this video is because I am kind of like on the fence about them. They kind of do look like slugs. I didn't want to waste everyone's time. It was just one of those tutorials where I felt like, I feel like not that many people would enjoy it. So if you guys want to learn how to make these BTS pillows, then they will be linked down at the bottom. And yeah, moving on to the last tutorial. And lastly, we have the Christian Dior and BTS sketches. If you guys are unfamiliar with the sketch, Dior made this one for their upcoming concert outfits, which they actually ended up wearing back in May. I loved it so much that I wanted to frame it. For my frames, I use these large white ones from IKEA called the Reba? I'm not really sure, but here's the info about it. The other materials I use are gold contact paper, an X-Acto knife, scissors, and a ruler. Obviously, if you guys decide to just use a white or black frame from IKEA, then you guys can completely skip this part and jump to where I framed the sketches. But if you guys want to learn how I wrapped my frames, then keep on watching. The first step is to measure out your contact paper for the side that you want to tape. I made sure that I left some extra space on both ends before I cut it. With my ruler, I marked the paper in half and then I cut down that line. The tape that I have is 4 inches wide and the space that I need to cover is actually 2 1/4 inches. So I decided to cut it in half anyways just to save and double up on tape. Peel the backing off and line the edges of the tape to the edge of the frame. Then you want to firmly press down and make sure you work in small sections just to avoid air bubbles. When you get to a corner, all you have to do is cut a small little triangle out of the folded corner and then fold down the flaps. Then you can repeat this whole process to the other sides of the frame. So if you ever run into an air bubble, all you have to do is make a tiny slit on the contact paper and then push out the air and flatten it out. When you get to a corner where both the tapes meet, use your X-Acto knife to cut a diagonal on the frame and then turn the frame to its side to cut off the excess tape. Once you're done wrapping your frame, remove any backing and any film that's on the glass insert your printout, replace the backing, and you are completely done. The original sketch doesn't come this big, so it's a little pixelated up close and in person. I blew up the sketch myself because I needed it to fit the frame, and I got it printed at Vistaprint, which I will also link everything down at the bottom. As you guys can see, there is a 1/4 inch of space that I didn't get to cover, but I don't really mind that. I love how these turned out, mainly because my guests don't really realize that it's a BTS sketch. So the large printouts ended up being about $87 and the frames were $20 each, so it ended up being a little less than $150. I know it's a little pricey, but if you guys think about it, it's $150 for 3 huge framed pieces. Alright you guys, those are all the tutorials. I hope you guys enjoyed my BTS home decor video. If you guys want to connect with me, all my socials are at Nava Rose. And okay, so for the giveaway, all you have to do is be subscribed to the Nava Rose channel, and lastly, just comment down below what BTS means to you, not BTS the letters, like behind the scenes. I just feel like it's nice to share what they've done for you and how they make you feel and all that good stuff. I just love reading those, especially around the holidays. On top of that, I am also making each individual member jacket. It'll have their names on the back and it will have the BTS logo. These are going to be for sale, and all the funds and profits made from these jackets will be donated to an animal charity. That's just my way of giving back to you guys and to also give back to the animals in need because I love animals. That's pretty much all the info. I think that was a lot of info for this video. All the info will be linked down at the bottom. Hope everyone has been enjoying their holiday season, and until next time, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me.